Okay, Grandpa, this is part 2. This is funny. Whenever Spirit, I already know I'm having issues with my phone due to the heat, but I have not had any issues with videoing. So my phone just cut off there saying I didn't have enough storage, which I know I do. So whenever something like that happens to me, I laugh because I know that it has something to do with Spirit. I don't know the reasons right now. We'll probably figure it out, Monica, towards the end of this message. But your grandpa had my video just stop there a moment ago. So here's part 2, just as I was beginning to talk about his poker face, which that's interesting because maybe he had a gambling issue. I don't know. I'm not here to I'm not here to know anybody's life. I'm here to share what I receive. He had me feel that he had very knowing eyes. Very knowing eyes, and that led me to the poker face. He had me feel like in life, if you knew him, you didn't need to hear his words always. You just needed to see his eyes. So if Grandpa was upset with somebody, you know, he wouldn't be like, rah, 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 you know, he'd be like, and that's all it took. These looks from your grandpa, very quiet. Patience was his virtue. Patience remains his virtue. When we die, remember that death is but a breath, a final inhale and a final exhale. And from there, we are transitioned and taken to a whole other realm. Heaven is not just up above, it's not in the skies. We are not a body floating around. Your grandpa's not riding on your back or anything crazy like that. I can't explain it all, I'm not there. But I do visit often, and I am shared with from heaven's angels in such ways that I have seen many, many glimpses of an angel's life. Your grandpa, at that point, he had me feel very tired. One of the things that happens when I'm connecting with Spirit, especially for the first time for someone, they understand, we as Spirit, when we die, we understand as an angel that our loved ones in life have questions, and it's very important for these questions to be answered so that there can be peace in life. And the further peace that you have in life, the further peace your grandpa has as an angel. Angels are all peace-seeking, and we never give up seeking peace, even as an angel. So this is why angels do love to give messages to life, because the importance of belief, the importance of knowing without knowing, knowing without being able to truly validate anything, Spirit takes us all out on our own edge. Some of us block it, we don't want it at all. Some of us, like you, Monica, we're like, yes, yes, please, I'd love that. Wow, great, thank you. Like, where'd you come from, Natalie, you know? I can't tell you, but I kind of did just tell you. It was your grandpa. I am here. I am an open vessel, always. I am an open soul to receiving, and all of heaven knows that. I've got Spirit knocking on my door always. I am not always open, okay? Like yesterday when I said I'd have to wait till today to reach out to your grandpa. So again, I'm all over the place, and now I'm like, oh my God, is this video gonna cut off again? At that point, so your grandpa wanted me to feel what he felt as he was passing, as he was leaving and transitioning from this life to heaven. This is very important for loved ones in life to know that their loved one either passed in peace or didn't, or passed in fear or without fear or whatever. Your grandpa had me feel a very, very warm circumference right around this area of my body. Very common area for a spirit to present in. It was around my heart. At that point, I felt very, very warm, and I actually felt myself taking my hand like this and placing it up like I was saying the Pledge of Allegiance, you know? I sat there for a few seconds, absorbed that feeling, and it was, for me, a physical feeling. I do physically feel Spirit as well. It is not just all through my soul. At that point, I was feeling that perhaps Grandpa died from well, a heart issue, whether it was a heart attack, congestive heart failure, something along those lines with his heart. And also he kept saying he was so tired, so tired. he was smiling during this physical feeling, giving me a vision of him. He was doing the same thing. His hand was on his chest, and he was smiling, and he was looking directly at me, through me. His eyes were delivering this message directly to you, Monica. I know this all sounds crazy. Thank you so much for receiving this message. I can't explain it all. I try. Did he ever have oxygen? Towards the end of his life, was he on oxygen, receiving oxygen in some way? Because he had me feel this shortness of breath, you know, and even showed me a tube. I'm thinking that it had something to do with oxygen. He also then immediately showed me a vision. When I receive visions, they're not through my mind, okay? Our mind gets visions all the time. I have a vision of a tree in front of me. That's a vision, right? When Spirit gives me visions, they're through my soul. Our soul is our all. So even when my phone is acting up and I can't take photos or video, I'm reminded through heaven that our soul retains all. We don't need to study like a test for school to hold on to such memories that we are meant to hold on to, such visions that we are meant to hold on to. He gave me a vision through my soul of a lot of prescription bottles lined up on a counter. This is representing and showing that he was sick prior to his passing in life, and also showing that there was care involved externally. He showed me a black bunny. Okay, so this is all going to get random here too, okay? Let me go back to when I was explaining in the first video that got cut off. Spirit presents a lot like the game of charades, okay? So they'll like show me something and I'm like, okay, I see a black bunny. What are you trying to show me? Well, because Spirit has no time and life has time, Spirit is very fast. So Spirit wants to present boom, 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 so fast there's no way my mind could retain any of the depths of speed that's involved in what is being shared. So at that point, a lot of times when I'm connecting, such as your grandpa did, they'll do a swipe. Keep going, Natalie, keep going. Okay? So I don't know what the black bunny means. When I write these notes, as I'm connecting, I'm always writing as I'm connecting. I will put a question mark, as I did next to this black bunny, because I was like, what? And he was like, keep going. He then, he had me slapping my knee. He was like, he had me have a vision of him slapping his knee, but it was like he had me slapping my knee going, oh my God, the stories Grandpa had to share. Grandpa, as many grandfathers are, Grandpa was a definite storyteller. He was one who liked to say a lot, let's go for a walk. Come with me. Let me share something with you. He was very, very sentimental, a quiet man. He loved sharing his stories. I then received a vision of your grandpa, and behind him was a lady. And she had her arms wrapped around him. She was standing behind him in this vision, and her head was resting, you know, kind of underneath here. So all I could see was like her hair. I couldn't see her face. Important to note with this is that when I'm receiving visions from Spirit, when I can't see a face in the vision, this tells me that that soul is still alive in life. When I'm receiving a vision from Spirit and they show me the face, I know that that face is in heaven as a soul, a spirit, an angel as well. But aha, there are other moments, such as today with your grandpa. This was your grandpa's debut, okay, giving his first message to life. And all angels know that we all, even in heaven, need our debut, our little on-stage time. And so this vision of this lady coming up and standing behind your grandpa, and I couldn't see her face, but her arms were wrapped around him, signifies that he is with the love of his life, whoever that may be. Of course, I would perceive that to be his wife, but I am not about perception. I don't perceive. I don't know who this lady is. I did feel the love of his life. She was not showing me her face because she's very respectful as well as a spirit, as an angel, and she was allowing your grandpa to have this debut, so to speak, but knowing the importance of representing and showing that he is not alone in heaven, that he is loved and he is with the love of his life. He then gave me a vision of a little girl wearing pigtails, and I knew it was you, Monica. I could see the girl's face. I don't know you. I didn't know what she looked like as a girl or anything, but I knew it was you that he was showing this vision to. At first I heard the words pigtails and ponies. And at that point I was like, is that my mind? And whenever I question if it's my mind, Spirit again is like, Natalie, keep going, because it's not about my mind. Spirit doesn't want me up here thinking about what I'm receiving. Spirit wants me in my soul, not thinking at all. Spirit wants me just taking it in, receiving it, you know, knowing that my soul can then siphon and process and decipher and then utilize my mind to deliver. Does that make sense? I knew it was you. This little girl in pigtails, and then pigtails and ponies. I was like, He was like, keep going. And then he said, pigtails and pigs in a blanket. I was like, okay. So whatever this means, it must mean something to you. Keep in mind also that anything that doesn't make sense to you in these messages, usually within 1 to 3 days, again, the number 3, usually within 1 to 3 days after receiving a message, and you've had time to process it through your mind, your body, and your soul, and you keep yourself hydrated, you will begin in the next 1 to 3 days, Monica, to see all of the pieces of this message coming together as a part of your life puzzle. It will all make sense to you. You may be out tomorrow and you might see a girl with pigtails and you'll be like, oh, pigtails, you know. You just follow those clues. Those are the breadcrumbs. So basically this message from your grandpa right now is he is leaving for you, Monica, breadcrumbs, like Hansel and Gretel, so that you can find your way home. And home is heaven. Not to say you're dying anytime soon. I'm just saying angels like to leave behind trinkets and treasures, clues, signs, breadcrumbs is what I refer to them as. So be aware for the next several days. Funny enough, the pigtails and pigs in a blanket, that's the word pig twice, and so that also is one of your grandpa's spirit animals. So I have not had time to look this up either, but Monica, you can Google pig as spirit animal. I usually like the one site that is called What is My Spirit Animal? And look up what it means. Read about the pig and you'll be amazed at how that also becomes a part of your journey. This is a journey, okay, for you. This is what heaven wants for all of us, Monica, is to live our lives in such adventures and journeys of discovery, of wonder and wander. Heaven wants us to not be entirely consumed with all of life's drudgeries and mishaps and everything that weighs us down and keeps us so busy, you know, we don't take time for ourselves. So this message for you is the beginning of a new life for you, and your grandpa is most excited about this. I then heard your grandpa say, come sit on my knee. And he was talking to the girl in pigtails, which was you. And he then also said, let's go take a walk. And I could see him and you. I could see the sun behind you. Actually, it was in front of you guys. You were walking towards the sun in this vision. And holding hands. And you were wearing a little nightie, short sleeve summer type nightie as a child. You looked to be about, I don't know, between 5 and 7 years old or something. This is his way of letting you know that his love has always been real, and his love is still with you, and he still walks with you. He still holds your hand. You are his granddaughter, his grandbaby girl. He also showed me a cowboy hat. I was like, question mark? And at the same time, he also showed me a cowboy buckle, you know, a big, what do they wear? Metal buckle piece or whatever, like Western style. And then he also showed me Western style house decor. Okay, so that was like Western, Western, Western. There's the 3 again. Your grandpa is definitely into the number 3. Remember that. If you're ever going to play the lottery, I'd do 333 if I were you. I don't know what the Western style means. It's probably just a representation of his life. All of these little messages that he's giving to me today are not things that you would expect to hear, and that is for a reason that I can't quite explain other than what I've learned to understand, and that is that Spirit gives bizarre, unexpected, unusual visions and messages so that you know that it's real, because I know nothing about you at all. I know nothing about your grandpa. I don't know how he passed or anything. I will be most curious after you see this video and receive this message and take your time to process it, drink a lot of water. I'm most curious always to hear back from you what made sense. And if it doesn't make sense, because a lot of times if it doesn't make sense, I can help you make sense of it. Again, remember that Spirit speaks in a lot of charades. He also gave me, he had me hear the words citrus tree. I had a question mark. I saw oranges and then I saw lemons. And I was like, which is it, oranges or lemons? And he was like, don't worry about it. Citrus is all I needed to hear. And also then he gave me the vision of him again with this little girl in pigtails, who's you, picking whatever, lemons or oranges from this tree. That's a beautiful vision, actually. Your grandpa really loves you. And note that I say loves because it's not past tense. When we die, death is but a breath, and we then transition to eternal life. So your grandpa's very much so alive. His love is very much so alive. He is not past tense. He is simply in another space and place, another realm. He also had me hear the word mushrooms. No idea what that meant. And he also had me hear the words pickles and watermelon. I then got a vision of a garden. So I don't know if Grandpa was some sort of a farmer or if he enjoyed having a little garden. These are all messages for you to tap into, Monica, and decipher. The last vision that your grandpa gave me was the vision of him on, I could see it was Berber carpet, okay? See, specific, Spirit's very specific, and they're specific for a reason because they know that if the message is going to be received and understood, it better be real. And what's real to me is Spirit. I don't know your life, so I can't make up anything in regards to that. This vision of him on the Berber carpet, he was on his hands and knees like any father or grandfather would be around children, and you were on his back. And guess what you were doing? He was giving you a piggyback ride. I find this beautiful. You must have had a close relationship with your grandfather, and I'm so grateful that you responded to me. I promise I do not sequester people to deliver messages. I'm a busy shepherd girl. I've got a very active life, a very busy life, and yet Spirit always comes first for me because that is my sole purpose in this life, is to share Spirit with life, is to share heaven on earth, because that is all heaven wants for all of us in this life, is to find our own heaven on earth while we are here alive. Monica, if you have any questions, please ask. There are no stupid questions. I am an open vessel. I love helping others make sense of the ways angels communicate with us, because the point is, not only can I do this, your grandpa wants you to know you can connect with him too at any time. Not in Natalie ways, in Monica ways. And there are so many ways that we can all connect with our loved ones if we simply are open to believing and to being aware. Awareness is key, and being open. Talk to you soon, Monica.